completely outplayed. But he turned it around in the space of a year, so you can see, if you're him, Kyren, that is, the improvement that you've made during that year. Yeah, the year before he lost the first 10 frames to Higgins. It was all over in 2 sessions. This year, he very much got his own back on his way to becoming champion. Now down the left side of the table with the cue, well, plenty of options here. Preferred red would be the one just above the black. But if he overhits, he's got other options, including the middle red, which I think he'll end up playing.
24. $25. 32. 33. 40. 41.
No, that's a mistake. I think he felt perhaps he would kiss that other red there. The red closest to the pink on the way through. It has been said before, if there is anything in his game that's not strong, it is that his cue ball control is not immaculate, but he's got ways of recovering it. He's going to have to show some recovery skills here. That's horrible cueing. That's a brilliant shot. That really is. Well, you can see part of the cue ball. It shouldn't have been there either. That's the other reason. Now this, to win another frame.
Kyren Wilson, 48.
Well now, 54, the lead 59 on. Mark Williams has barely been in this match, but suddenly a chance has come to steal this second frame.
1.
So he negotiated that difficult black, but not frame ball red.
Yeah, a lot of talk about the pocket sizes of these tables. See this again. Everyone's going around saying, oh, you know, the pockets are the size of buckets and all this. These aren't buckets, I can tell you. They are, hit them wrongly, they won't go in, as Mark Williams has also found out. Down the cushion, they're a little tricky. Accuracy is at a premium, especially when you're using extra pace like that last shot. In fairness, that was not ever going to go in. But I thought that Kyren's might drop. The red that he missed to win the frame earlier. So this is a ball, and he missed the black and then the red in this frame, but he seems to dust himself down and come back stronger. It's not a perfect start, but it's a confident one all the same.
Yeah, I mean, the body language has been excellent, hasn't it? He's really come out, he's striding around the table, taking the game to the 3 times world champ.
5.
This is actually, I've been working it out, this will be the 12th frame in a row he's won against Mark Williams in various matches. So Williams getting just the odd chance. He did have the outside chance there, but he's had no table time at all. He's sort of been hit by a runaway train a little bit here, hasn't he?
Kyren Wilson, 11.
Kyren Wilson looking super confident, and in just 21 minutes, he's opened up a 2-0 lead in today's second quarter-final here at the Northern Ireland Open. Well, it's been all Kyren Wilson so far, as we can show you.
Yeah, he just looks as if he's still on the practice table, isn't he? Just playing seemingly without any pressure on him, taking on a lot of shots. Most are going in. He's very good at getting in at the moment. You know, he's got in from awkward positions. It's not as if Williams left him absolutely banging amongst them on any of those occasions. As usual, his rest play is very confident. Just missed one at the end of that second frame with the rest, but it was not in live play. Cue ball does travel a little bit more. It's not an immaculate cue ball with Kyren Wilson, but it doesn't matter. He puts his way out of it. That was the way one frame one. Frame two, he missed a couple of shots. This one, I don't know whether Leo felt that someone was putting Kyren off on his eye line. I didn't get to see whether Kyren did feel put off by it, but it was an error, which Williams didn't take much of an advantage of. But at this kind of range, he looks deadly to me. He whacked two bolt colours in the middle pocket, left middle at great speed. He already knocked the brown in earlier. That is a superb shot to control the cue ball on for a red. This was the one that got away, and it was frame ball, so there was a moment for Mark Williams, but he wasn't up to it. Didn't get very close to that, so he hasn't settled in. Kyren Wilson, the world champion, has started, all things considered, pretty well here. This was a nice shot, and that sealed the frame in the end. Took him a couple of visits, but it's a good start.
Yeah, it really is. He's done it in style, and there are the stats so far. Williams has had very little table time, of course. But Wilson, where he wants to be, really, in all those stats. Obviously, 100% you can't improve on, but to 92% pot success. And whatever mistakes he's made, whatever slip-ups have been, have gone unpunished. So he'd be feeling good, but wanting to press on. He doesn't want to open the door, because it nearly happened there. It nearly was the case that Williams would have made the clearance for one each. He wants to keep him on the back foot in this match. So, Kyren Wilson looking good already, 2-0 up here, but of course a long way to go. It's first to 5 now.
Kyren Wilson to break.
To play Pang Zhengzhou, who's knocked out Neil Robertson 5-4 in the first quarter-final here in Belfast this afternoon. As I mentioned earlier, Wilson beat Williams at this stage, the quarter-final stage of the first Northern Ireland Open in 2016. That was played at the Titanic Centre. Then when we came here to the Waterfront Hall in 2017, Williams was the champion. Well, it's classic Williams, this. Nailing a long one like that. Completely unfazed, it would seem, by what's happened so far. Concerned here, though, and rightly so.
4.
Yeah, I think he knew quite early that was going to end up there. Well, he sort of folded his arms as the ball was still in motion. Both players are playing that shot well. He's a little unlucky to finish right in behind the blue. I think he is actually... I mean, he's so far in behind it, I'm not certain of his escape route even. It's not as if he could just roll off one cushion. It's like he's heading into the bulk area. play off the jaws of the middle pocket. Looks a horrible option, doesn't it? I think he's playing off the jaw here. Oh, that's a great shot. I feel there's an element of guesswork, but yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anyone play that shot out of a snooker behind the blue. Certainly not play it as well as that anyway.
One.
Still fairly early in the best of 9, but he could really do with this frame. Williams
6.
needs to get into the match. He's not quite there yet.
Seven. 8.
Yeah, I mean, calling all pockets here, wasn't it? 2 went in. But he's been left with nothing easy.
Say that again. If he plays blue to middle, it's horrible, but you know, playing a safety shot, there is that red to the right corner that's close to it. It's hard to protect that red. The best way is to pop the blue, keep the break going, I think. Horrible shot, this. Very good.
Thirteen. Fourteen.
And if you would even look at the blue, it's more difficult than the pink. Pink is a shot you'd fancy him to get. He's just moving away from the reds a touch in playing it.
Munson's made a great start, but it's more about who he's playing here. We know what Williams is like at absorbing pressure and anything that's thrown at him.
21.
Ah, lost the white here though.
Williams 21.
This could be the first prolonged bout of safety we've had in this match. First 2 frames very open. No need to play safe when you pop those. Why don't you come down the table to have a look? as to whether the black passes the reds or not. That's the question. It certainly does. So already missed a red down that cushion. Same kind of line into the pocket as this.
Kyren Wilson, 1. One.
Mark Williams, of course, won 2 ranking titles last season, the British Open and the Tour Championship, which is a massive event, and came within basically 2 balls of winning the Saudi Arabia Masters earlier this season. Judd Trump made that great clearance in the decider. So his form in the last year has been excellent. No worries about his world ranking. He's number 7 in the world as it stands. He said he wanted to be in the top 16 at the age of 50, which is going to be in March, so he will be there for sure. And you've got to think, the late Ray Reardon's record, the oldest ranking event winner, he won one, Ray, when he was 50. In the next couple of years, you're going to go.
$14.
Well, not easy to get any route into the reds from the blue, and don't think he feels he can take this break any further.
Mark Williams,
Not
14.
the blue, but he felt the 5 reds could not be touched. So he probably played a better shot.
Foul, the miss. Mark Williams, 6.
Seems reluctant to have the balls replaced, although very much an option. If he thinks that those 2 reds are in a plant, then maybe there would be a reason to play them. They're not in line, they have to make it into a plant. It comes down to how far the 2 reds are apart. He's got to do a bit of work. I'm not surprised he eventually had them put back, because I'm not sure that plant was quite on. A little bit too much. Sort of swing off the first red to make the second red pop.
This way.
Yeah, and the problem would have been he would have been opening the reds up with no guarantee of potting it and leaving Wilson in, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, the pink needs to
Sorry.
go back as well.
Touching ball.
Williams won't be going anywhere near the red and the black, even if he could see them. He wants to keep those two balls there, because while he's in front by this many, 44 points, he doesn't want the balls opened up. Well, he's left half a chance.
It's 5 out of 5 long pots for Wilson. It's very encouraging early in the match. So he can certainly get back into the frame, but obviously that red tied up with the black is going to be an issue.
Yeah, I think he can put the bottom red here.
Four.
He'd like to have hit the second cushion and push the red into the middle of the table. It isn't too bad, but the problem with the red and the black is still there. He's actually not too bad. It looks like when respotted,
16.
he'd be able to push the other red out here. Obviously the break ends, but I wonder if he can get the red and the black into play, playing safe. Deciding not to try and move the black.
16.
He's not really back in the frame, but he's not out of it either, you know. He's still battling, and Williams looking to hang on and get a frame on the board. I think you can sense that Wilson is quite confident. He's getting a clap. I'm not sure whether he's even covered it. It must be very close. If he plays it with a trace of left-hand side, if it gets past the brown, he's going to get very close to the potting angle here. Williams is having a real problem keeping him quiet. Can't control him. He's knocking in too many balls. It's another excellent shot. I mean, positionally, that's so good.
3.
not so
43.
good. I think Williams would be very relieved to see that stay out because it was starting to cave in around him, this frame. That's a good shot in the end. Slightly agonising moment as to whether Red was going to actually go beyond the middle pocket, but that's what he played and that's what he's got.
Williams doesn't want to bring the black out into a more open position. He doesn't need it. Wilson would do. One-handed. And he hit the black.
Not sure if I had that bent in it.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, he hit the red.
I must say, I thought he just hit the red.
But he has brought the black into the open.
The one-handed thing, you know, I can't see what benefit you can gain. You can see that he actually did hit the red there, but like you point out, you know, he's hit the black, so put the one-handed shots away. My advice, you're not going to take any notice of me, understandably. Why would he? But I don't see why you would prefer to play a shot like that one-handed. That was an important shot. He hasn't quite got it. If he could have got the snooker there behind the yellow, he might have been favourite in the frame, despite still being 25 behind and the black now on. That is a very good shot, though. It's been a great attempt to get the snooker, whether he's got it or not.
Oh, I missed. Mark Williams, 4.
Likely to be going back, and the respot is replacement's got to be done right here.
Ben Williams, the marker, helping out.
Which? The yellow. The brown okay on its spot? Is it?
It's not the in the marker, but I still believe there's got to be something we can do to avoid all of this. They're doing their best, these two, Leo and Ben Williams, but the whole dialogue between referee and marker, I'm sure there can be something improved on that. And the replacement on this shot is very important. Mark Williams just grunts, no, that's not right.
Yeah, I mean, there is technology. They use it in China, which is far advanced. So the question is, why can't we use it here?
Yeah, and it's not, as we say, a criticism of the officials. It's just, I think that in this day and age, we must have a better way of determining where the balls were. And some replacements are, you know, absolutely crucial, more so than others. This is one of those.
Yeah, in China, I'm sure you've seen it on our coverage. If you get the ball back in the right place, it's a little flashing light, and then it tells you when it's right, where it was again.
It seems to work. It seems to work, and the situation is resolved.
Thank you.
Quicker. Anyway, we have got there, but he needs a bit of cover here. Goodness, he really does, and I think he's got it. He's got the green out. I don't know if he's left the red on. There surely isn't a way through to pot it, is there? No. This is the kind of frame that you can just see it slipping away from Williams, the fact that he's not already won this, and now nothing is safe. Yeah, can really put right-hand side on that to ensure he got full contact with the red from the cushion. What if he's attempting cushion first himself here, Kyren? Pushing the red beyond the black. Yep. But you'd think he's given an advantage to Williams in this little exchange. He might be able to get him snookered here.
Well, it's a critical exchange, isn't it? And it's been going on about 9 minutes on this red.
Looks like he hasn't got the snooker yet. Not quite a red ball frame. Clearly, if Williams pots it, he'll almost certainly win the frame. But if it was Kyren who knocked this in, and then wherever he finished, he would fancy pinching this frame. But this is not looking great.
Yeah, so Williams just needs the red to get to the snooker's required position. It's been hard work getting a frame on the board.
One.
don't get to win many tournaments as Mark Williams. 35 titles all told, 26 of them ranking events, without grafting your way through a few frames like this.
5. 7. 10. 10 and frame.
So it was in the balance, but Williams has got on the scoreboard. Very interesting second quarter final here at the Waterfront Hall in Belfast. Kyren Wilson leads Mark Williams 2-1.
You're ready to pick up your cue in action and pot the ball in excitement. Get ready for an exciting and thrilling tournament of this year, especially for the guys like you. So be ready to pot the ball in Elite Snooker Lounge.
So 2-1 to Kyren Wilson. We're just waiting for Kyren to return. Mark Williams just having a bit of a chat with the referee, Leo Scullion. Of course, the arena's been reconfigured. One of the tables has been taken out as audience there. The other table will be in use tonight for Louis Heathcote, Elliot Slesser, and then overnight that gets taken out. The main table will be recovered by the table fitters. New cloth on for the semi-final. So Williams on the scoreboard. Ties break, still only 21. It was quite a disjointed frame, but he's won it after the great start Kyren Wilson made. Still a chance for parity for the Welshman at the interval. He's here with Lee Walker, his good friend, former player, coach, who of course was significant in persuading him to follow the sight-right method, which led to him winning this title back in 2017, when, let's be honest, his career was in the doldrums. He hadn't qualified for the World Championship a few months earlier. He was starting to think maybe he should even think of walking away, but thankfully that didn't happen.
Yes, I remember him, actually, because he went on to win the German Masters, didn't he, before he picked up that world title. So it was after he won here in Belfast, and I watched him on the practice table, and he was saying when he first went to the new method, he was aiming where he thought he would miss the ball, but they were going in. And it took him a while to sort of accept that that was where he should be aiming. So he obviously something had gone wrong with his alignment, and how much it all changed after that. He gave a clue that he was going to become world champion. The way he played, not only here, but that, to say, in Berlin, he was superb all the way through that. And as you say, he became world champion, turned everything around. Kyren's long game is very good at the moment.
Yeah, terrific long red to get in. Yeah, Williams was one of the form men going into that World Championship he won. Of course, Kyren Wilson wasn't, as we see this pot again. Beautiful shot. Yeah, he had very little form, it seemed, in the spring, but it all came together over the most important fortnight of the year.
Nine.
But he did fit the category, if you like, of a world champion who's also been a world finalist. And there's so many. That's a very long list of players that have won it and also been in the final.
Yeah, it's a good point, and quite often they win it quite soon after they've been in the final. I mean, it was actually 4 years for him, but, you know, John Parrott was a couple of years, wasn't it? Mark Williams actually lost to Hendry in '99, then won it the year after. Graham Dott was just 2 years after he was runner-up. He won it.
17.
Wilson lost to Ronnie O'Sullivan in, of course, it was an August championship. It was played in the COVID period. It had been postponed, but thankfully we still got it on.
He's happy with that. Saw the
24.
purposeful walk around the table. The bottom red to left corner is on.
$25. $32. $33.
So this is the fifth black of this break.
Yes, he played that cannon. Maybe he played it with more pace than I expected. He hit the red I thought he might hit. So now he will have to play on the red. He can't follow it with the black.
41.
Would be a bit early, wouldn't it, to be considering keeping on reds and blacks for 147. Got a frame to win, and I think anything but a 3-1 lead, he would be disappointed because he's made most of the running in these few frames. It's a nice shot. It's played in a nice area. He might be tempted by the red along the cushion here. Hasn't looked at it yet, but worth a glance.
Five.
He hasn't played a very good shot on the red, and I think he knows it, but he's almost trying to ignore it and carry on as if nothing's happened. Not got a very good, very easy shot on this black to hold for a red. Done well there. Good shot.
Mm-hmm. 52. $53.
It's typical of how he's been playing this. Straight in.
60.
Very difficult player to keep out for long periods. And not always immaculate in position, but just keeps potting balls.
61.
And close to another frame.
Well, he's been very impressive, hasn't he? Just the approach to this match. He's looked confident. He's come out with purpose, knocking in the long ones. And now this red should make it 3-1. So despite not winning that 28-minute third frame, gave it everything, but he's come
67.
out, wiped the slate clean, and just got on with this one. Something about playing Mark Williams brings out the best in Kyren Wilson, clearly. Remember, it's 6-0 on the head-to-head to Wilson. And Williams will have to do something in the second half to stop it being 7-0. Mark Williams' high break, only 21 so far. The frame he won was in bits and pieces.
Size break, Leo. 75. I don't know this one.
The high break is Mark Williams, isn't it? 143. Can't beat that here. Yeah, he's asking the referee. He should be asking the man in the seat.
Yeah, I think the referee's got enough to do, isn't he, without knowing the high break. But as you say, he can't beat it.
He's keeping quiet.
$83.
Can't beat it anyway now, of course, but yeah, it's not up to the refs to know all that stuff.
84.
I mean, it's probably up to the players to know all that, isn't it, if they're in that position. I don't think he was that serious about it anyway. Just have a little quiet chat. But it has been impressive. He started
91.
with a real bang. In the way he won the first frame,
92.
8.5 minutes. Second frame, 12 minutes odd. And this one is long over, and we've still not had 10 minutes, so the frames he's won, he's raced to.
It's going to be a century just to cap a really impressive start to this quarter-final. Kyren Wilson, loving life as world champion. And playing, again, like a world champion here. Against one of the all-time greats of the sport.
$107. $108.
Well, he can make 142. He may believe that is the highest break. I don't know whether he knows or not, actually, but anyway, it's not. It's the news.
$115. 170. $120.
It's been a great effort, though, the way that he's striding around the table. Got the swagger of a world
124.
champion about him, hasn't he, today?
I know one thing, Mark Williams will take great delight in informing him that he's made a 143. Kyren really
129.
doesn't know. But yeah, regardless of all of that, this is terrific stuff. Really is. Right from shot one, really, terrific in this match.
135. Okay, we're looking at 135.
So a 135 to cap an excellent mini session. He did lose the third frame, which was in the bow. The others were. It's a great lead already and a great performance by Kyren Wilson. 3-1, he's 2 away as they go to the interval from reaching the semi-finals.
Hello, snooker lovers. Are you ready?
We can hear from Mark Williams
to
about
pick
his
up
glorious
your
career.
cue in action and pot the ball in excitement? Get ready for an exciting and thrilling tournament of this year, especially for the guys like you. So be ready to pot the ball in Elite Snooker Lounge. Hello, snooker lovers. Are you ready to pick up your cue in action and pot the ball in excitement? Get ready for an exciting and thrilling tournament of this year, especially for the guys like you. So be ready to pot the ball in Elite Snooker Lounge.
So Kyren Wilson needs 2 more and he'll be taking on Pang Zhengzhou in the semi-finals here tomorrow.
Thank you, frame 5. Kyren Wilson to break.
Wilson certainly good value for the lead he's got, and of course completed that 135 in frame 4. Mark Williams high break just 21. He can scrap frames out, Williams, but you suspect he'll have to do more than that to turn this round. Got to keep this man away from the table.
Well, it looks like he's playing the red to left middle instead of top left. Not easy by any means. So Mark Williams will have to pop this and get an angle on his colour to open up a very tightly grouped bunch of reds.
1.
It's not the perfect angle, really. I mean, he'll go into them, but the pop slightly difficult from there as well. Good effort. Putting the black safe is the first thing that catches your eye. Red just dropping down onto the black. Absolutely not what he wanted. There may be that red on, but as I say, with the black safe, it's going to be difficult.
Mark Williams 6. Kyren Wilson.
Seemed to run and run, didn't it? I felt it would probably stop just short of going into the pocket, but at this kind of range, so far in the match anyway, Kyren Wilson has been pretty deadly. Put the ball in the D and get his hand on the table because this cue ball just trickled into the pocket. Yeah, you'll note that it was A clean pot, and B, just opening the black into play. But fortunately, his next colour is not an easy one. His pot went very cleanly, just glanced the red away. Not a nice shot if he's taken on the yellow. He's now, I think, changed his mind. He's playing cushion first here into the brown. Get the snooker behind green, I suppose. Unusual shot to be playing. Pretty good. It's almost a shot he's invented there. He'd much rather have been on a colour to pot it, but it's a good second prize. somewhat unusual shot to play this when he's got the snooker. Well, he's winding himself up to go for this. For once he misses at that sort of range. Clearly not an easy part through the gap between the green and the brown, and put his hand up to acknowledge that he got a little lucky with the double kiss.
One.
Well, the key to it for Williams is moments like this. He has found a way in, but he needs to stay in and start to do some damage himself. It's been bits and pieces from him, including, of course, the frame he won. I mean, the 1-4-3 that he made earlier in the tournament tells you that, you know, he is scoring well.
Three. Four.
A lot of people have questioned, you know, the fact he's using a new cue, but we mentioned earlier the sight right, the alignment method that he decided to use a few years ago. A lot of people questioned that and said, why is he doing that? Having won all the things he's won, it worked out for him. So he's a master of his own destiny, isn't he? He's giving it a go, and we'll see over time whether it's a good move or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's nobody's decision but his. If he wants to use a different cue, of course he can. He did come after, he played brilliantly in that Saudi final. I mean, he missed one ball, or else he'd have been the champion, $500,000 richer.
10.
So it's an unusual time to change cues. But anyway, that's nobody else's business but his, despite it feeling a bit strange.
Yeah, he said it motivates him to practice because there's a reason to practice, you know, having to get used to it. Let's see, though, as I say, he's got to
17.
start upping those numbers we saw, in particular the high breaker 21, to mount a challenge, because Wilson's looking very confident and playing really well.
18. $25. 26.
He doesn't hit the balls all that hard these days, Williams, but he still can. A little unfortunate the bottom four reds hardly moved. Could certainly have finished a lot better than it has, that split.
Mark Williams,
Yeah,
top
he'd be annoyed. I didn't expect him to miss that. He was concerned about the cue ball running away. He may not have left that red close to the pocket, though the yellow, I think, is obstructing the path through. I think his mind is made up here that the right-hand red he's going to have to go for 100%. His only safety shot still probably leaves the left-hand red. This is going to have to go in. That is wonderful. That is a wonderful shot. Yes, sort of mind was concentrated by the fact that he had no real other shot available to him, but yeah, you kind of fancy him for those long reds, the way he's playing. His long game has been exceptional today.
Eight. Nine.
It's a different frame now. Williams just dropping out of position, overcutting the red, looking to have got away with it, and then with Kyren unleashing a wonderful long red all of a sudden. He's in a better place in the frame.
17.
Got to convert this now, it's the only thing. You know, he's made all the difficult shots to get himself into this position.
He's just got great self-belief, Kyren Wilson. He always has done. You know, he was on the tour initially for a year in 2010, and tour was very different then. There weren't as many events, dropped off. You know, it might have been the last we saw of him, but he always believed not only could he get back on, but he could start mixing it with the top players, start winning tournaments. It wasn't that long after that that he did do. And he, of course, brought that same self-belief to Sheffield last season.
Twenty-three. Twenty-four. 41. 32.
40.
39.
Yeah, it's just leaving purposely a high angle on the black to come in behind the red. Didn't want to be straight on it, particularly.
.47. 48.
We said Williams would have to improve his high break. He did, but only to 33. Just all been stop-start from his perspective, this match. Kyren Wilson again is turning it on against Williams. It's not only 6-0 on the head-to-head. The last 5 meetings, 5-1, 6-1, 4-1, 5-0, 4-0.
55.
Yeah, there's an argument that head-to-heads don't mean very much when you start again in a new match, but yeah, I get the feeling he fancies beating him, just generally has done. All the way through this match, he's looked really confident. I have to say, the opening red in this break was out of the top draw. It really was. As far as long pots go, you'll never see a better one.
62.
Well, it was quite interesting if you saw the interview we did with him before the match. He brought it up himself, the fact he'd never lost to him. So it was in his mind, definitely. Yeah, terrific red, terrific break, terrific
67.
performance. Full stop, this. Something dramatic is going to have to happen to stop Kyren Wilson marching into the semi-finals. Mark Williams going to have to get it all together very soon, because Wilson means business here today. It's another winning break, 67 this time, and the world champion is one away at 4-1.
I get a chance to relive some of the moments in this frame, and Williams, he played that quite well.
You in action.
The yellow, the red near the pocket is not available, but then Kyren Wilson unleashed a long red here. He's got his hand on the cushion. That is just the most fantastic shot you'll see. The way that he screwed across for the black, the accuracy at long range he's got. That's his strength right now. He is so confident at long range. I think he believes he's going to pot all of those. And then he broke the reds up, and that little sequence of events is how we're at this stage of 4-1, because it did look like 3-2 for a while.
Could have been, couldn't it? There's the stats, though. They're all favouring Wilson, and the long potting, 75%, but he's taken on 12, so 9 out of 12. He's seriously good going. And, well, they're all good, aren't they? Be very satisfied, but now needs to kill it off, because we know from long experience that things can change. May just come down to one shot, maybe a bit of bad luck for him, a bit of good luck for Williams. Things can turn, so while he's on top, he really wants to stay there, put the match away, and then prepare for tomorrow's semi-final with Pang Jung-Soo. For Mark Williams, it's a long way back, it feels. Okay, 4-1, the score, yes, but just the performance level from his opponent. But we'll see when frame 6 starts.
Hello, snooker lovers. Are you ready? In excitement. Get ready for an exciting and thrilling tournament of this year. Especially for the guys like you. So be ready to pot the ball in Elite Snooker Lounge.
The Waterfront Hall in Belfast has played host to a really thrilling tournament, and of course we're coming to the
Thank
ball
you,
at the
Game
weekend.
6.
But who's going to be here? Well, Pang Zhengzhou is in the semi-finals, and it looks like he'll be playing Kyren Wilson unless Mark Williams can turn this around. He might need some help. He might need Wilson to start to miss. He's not missed much today.
No, and that break-off shot has left the red exposed up the table. Playing off the bunch, there's always the chance that you will push a red in front of the path of the black, but he's not done that. It's quite a brave shot. You never really know where the balls are going to go. Well, he's got a chance to get this match won quickly here. Because we've mentioned before that only left-handers have ever won this Northern Ireland Open, and one of them was beaten earlier. There was 4 left in it. All 4 left-handers against 4 right-handers in the matches. Neil Robertson was beaten. And it could be that the second of the left-handers is on the way out, which leaves Judd Trump and Elliot Slessor left in if that is going to continue tonight.
Sixteen.
Oh, that's an outstanding rest shot. I mean, I know we always say how great he is with the rest, but let's be honest, to play that deep screw at that speed with the rest, that is difficult to do. It's one thing to be able to pop balls with it, to be playing big shots with it. With the rest, that's a different story altogether. He's got a very good method at the moment, isn't he? He's very positive.
22.
He's quite fluent. You know, his long game is strong. His rest play is always going to be brilliant. Cue ball control not always his strong suit, but if you pop balls after, drop out of position, what difference it make?
23.
And he's putting in, to get to this level, you know, hundreds and hundreds of hours of practice. Because he's not the most gifted player who's ever played the game, but hard working on his game. I'm sure there's not too many more. And he's reaped the rewards the last few months, lifting that world title.
30. One. Thirty-eight. Thirty-nine.
Well, no great surprise. He's monopolised the overall table time.
Yeah, that wasn't the cleanest pot. It's just the reason he's not perfectly in behind his next red.
Kyren Wilson, 46.
Yeah, clearly he didn't get on the red all that well. Sort of not dissimilar from the other side of the table to the ball that Williams missed in the previous frame, although Williams overcut his red at the same sort of an angle, cutting it back down into a corner pocket. It's going to have to be now for Williams, I think. I suspect if he doesn't take this chance to pull a frame back, then there won't be too many more.
Eight. Mark Williams, 8.
That will annoy him greatly. Cue ball didn't even make it very far up for the black from there for some reason.
Well, it's another moment there where the match could potentially have been over, but not to be. So Williams still hanging on.
One.
Against David Grace earlier in the tournament, Wilson was 3-0 up. He only won 4-3, even though he was bossing it that day as well.
Desperately looking to see what goes here, because it was quite a good split. Did hit the middle red fairly square on, which doesn't always leave you on a ball if you play it that way, and could be that the only possible red is up into the green pocket. Don't see what else he can play. Can just about get through to it, he thinks. Well done. Now just to negotiate a path back to the reds, past the bold colours.
Fourteen. 15. 22. 23. 28.
'Still got work to do, of
29.
course, with the red on the right. As a left-hander, that's not such an easy red to make access to. Oh, goodness, he's missed that. Well.
Mark Williams, 29.
I thought he was playing quite well earlier in the week, you know. He started the week a little rusty, and then he had that 1-4-3, and the signs were he's getting used to his new cue. But today, he's not played very well, to be honest. He'll be fully aware of that. I expected him to play better, Mark Williams. Just thought he was improving match by match, but he's had a bit of a setback here today. Yeah, he did talk his own chances down, but he's done that to us before. Been hoodwinked by all that before with Williams. But that is not great either.
8.
That was a little bit of a loose shot. He's looking at, I think, a very thin cut. This is a horrible little shot to be playing. The middle pocket like this. I suppose better that it goes in than stays on the table, but I'm not sure he can clinch the match from it. But what he could do is make things difficult for Mark Williams to come back into the frame. Could be a moment to get the blue safe onto the right cushion, nail it to the cushion.
Kyren Wilson, 9.
Now the lead of 18 points becomes, you know, psychologically even bigger with the ball safe. Good lead. That's nicely played. I think that's exactly how he meant that, around 2 cushions, to push the red onto the left cushion. So he's kind of on the brink. It was very similar to how the match with Stan Moody ended yesterday. He was kind of played well for the most part, but just the last bit getting over the line took a bit longer than perhaps it might have done.
Well, he'll certainly be annoyed, Wilson, if we go into another frame, because he's made all the running in this match. He was looking good in this frame.
Well, Mark Williams is one of the great players. One of the worst shots I've seen him play for a very long time, that one. I think there's a part of him, I mean, he always tries hard all the way through, and he makes that point, and he does. Part of him, I think, feels that this could be, as far as his run goes, here in Northern Ireland this time. Not like him to hit one. That's a little sloppy, that last shot. So there you are.
Yeah, the problem is his level has not risen, has it, today? It needed to at some point. Wilson has been consistently very good and now has this golden opportunity to wrap it up and complete another handsome victory over Mark Williams.
Yes, he just needs to pop this green. And I would say that whatever you think about head-to-heads, I think Kyren Wilson fancies the job against him. You know, he's looked confident all the way through this match on the basis of all the, you know, the previous wins.
Well, good memories of playing him, beating him, but beating him. There's only one match of the 7 where Williams has won more than a frame against him.
12.
And Kyren Wilson, right from the start today, has looked really good. He made that 72 in the first frame, the 135, of course, in the 4th. This one took a few visits, but there's the handshake. So 7-0 against Mark Williams for Kyren Wilson. A thumbs up to the crowd. He is into the semi-finals of the Northern Ireland Open. A handsome winner here by 5 frames to 1. Yeah, as I say, he'd be happy to get that wrapped up there because he'd certainly be feeling, you know, he was the definite better player, and the stats bear that out. As you can see, ending on 90% pot success. Long potting was significant, 9 out of 12 there, 75%. You was kind of expect the rest pot success.
Hello, snooker lovers. Are you ready to pick up your cue in action? and pot the ball in excitement. Get ready for an exciting and thrilling tournament of this year, especially for the guys like you. So be ready to pot the ball.